America looked at the Chinese the same way they looked at black people back in the day, as slaves. This is the African Jumbie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's get into it. See, black Americans have made many contributions to American society. Yes, it's a fact. And a lot of them has not even gotten their due. There are so many black inventors that many of us don't even know of. And, you know, a free mind is an uncontrolled mind. That's what I believe, yeah? When your mind is free and you're able to think and you're able to see things differently, it's like an onion. When you start to peel the layers, you get deeper and deeper and deeper, yeah? Many black Americans don't even know your history. And what white America has did. When you don't know who you are, when you don't know your contribution, when you don't know the role that you play in society, you are easily manipulated and you can be easily controlled. You see what they're doing now, right? They are talking about critical race like theory, and they are trying to deny black history. Because when you don't know who you are, like I said earlier, you don't, and this is what America has done successfully to black Americans. Deny you your identity, deny you your contribution, deny you what you have done to the development of that land. I had a bar at home, yeah? And I do have a bar here also. I had a bar home. And one thing I never did without was Johnny Walker. I always had Johnny Walker. I am not a drinker, but when I want to have a drink, I would drink. My drink of choice was Johnny Walker or Napoleon. Yeah? The moment I found out about Uncle Neris, I stopped buying Johnny Walker. And you guys get into this. If you don't know about Uncle Neris, get into Uncle Neris and tell me if you will continue to buy Johnny Walker after you find out about Uncle Neris, yeah? Every single thing that China knows was taught to China by the Americans. China made the strategic decision to learn from America's technology. Why did I say earlier that America wanted to enslave the Chinese the way that they did to black people? Because of America wanted to get into the Chinese market, yeah? America, big business, the American government wanted to get into the Chinese market. So they thought, okay, but China said to them, okay, come, but share your technology with us because we want to learn from you. And the Americans, being so stupid, and not stupid, but being so arrogant, think, well, we can share our technology with you. You would learn from us, because they thought the Chinese, oh, okay, let's back up a bit. They wanted the Chinese market and they also wanted Chinese labor. You understand? So they thought now that, okay, well, the Chinese are only going to produce things for us because, you know, they're Chinese. But and this is how the Chinese beat them by their own game. And we as black people supposed to learn from how the Chinese did it. But what we did when they came and they tried to enslave us, we helped them enslave our own people. So the Chinese now began to learn and began to study how the Americans did it. So in other words, the blueprint was already there. So instead of the like Chinese going to like create their own like blueprint and do whatever, the American gave them. And that's why the Chinese were able to do what they are doing in less than 50 years. That took other civilization centuries, well, not like civilization, but other nations centuries to build. The Chinese were able to do it under 50 years because the like blueprint was willingly given to them. So the arrogance of the Americans thought, you know, the Chinese are they're just going to work for us. We're going to exploit their cheap labor and whatever, yeah? Meticulously, patiently. And that's what China does. Patiently, quietly, they study and they study and they study and they became better at what the American gave to them, the American technology that was given to them. They became better at it than America. You guys heard about Sun Microsystem and you heard about Intel. Those like companies used to make chip and they used to sell chip to like China. Huawei used to buy chip from Sun Microsystem and Intel. They studied. And what did the Chinese did? The Chinese put them out of business. Why do you think they don't want Huawei to be on North American and like European network? Because Huawei is a better phone. I owned Huawei, the P20 Pro. And many of you who owned that phone when it was available in North America can testify that it is a better product than Apple. It is a better product than Samsung. So when they're giving us all this nonsense about the like Chinese or like putting stuff in the phones to spy and whatever, it's a bunch, it's lies. So the Chinese now took the technology that was given to them by the Americans and they became better at it. It's not the Chinese fault. The Chinese beat you at your own game. The Chinese outsmarted you because you were arrogant. You thought that they were too Chinese enough. You thought that they were too Chinese. They couldn't measure up. They couldn't step up. No, they are not a threat to us. They're just going to be, you know, coming from the villages and whatever, working in factories, and we're going to exploit their like cheap labor and whatever, yeah? But when you realize what the Chinese did, it was too late. You can't control them. So what you did now, you started to spread lies that China is stealing America's technology. China is putting spyware in the phones. China, we don't want it on our network. 90% of what China knows were taught by you. And those of us that live in a bubble, yeah? We don't get it from the bubble, not me, but many of you in the West. Many of you in America. Why am I talking about America? Because America and China are bucking heads economically. America and China are, you may say, at a Cold War economically. But it is America's fault. And America is lying to its people. Those who have traveled abroad and have gotten exposure to certain things can testify to that. When you live in a bubble, yeah, and you do not get out from that bubble, you are easily controlled. You don't see Chinese electric cars on the street of America. You will find them in Europe, all over Europe. You'll find them in some places in Africa have them. Even Kenya next door have like Chinese electric cars. It's a better product. than Tesla. It's a better product than any one of those American like startup. It is better. But before America give you access to a better product, we talk about tariff, yeah? Joe Biden has, I believe, 100% tariff on American electric car. You think that, when America says we are the land of the free and the home of the brave, my friends, you are not free. You are controlled, just like the countries that you guys talk about that the citizens are not free. You are not free. You think that you are, but you are not. You are being controlled. You are being manipulated. You are being denied access to something that might be better for you. The CEO of Ford has said it. It's been all over the news. I'm in Africa, but I have access to like North American news, which is something I said, I have to get out of because it is so toxic, yeah. And he's been driving a like Chinese electric car for months, and he said it is the best product that he's ever driven. The CEO of Ford. While your government is denying you access and spreading lies about the Chinese. And when the Chinese actually take over as the #1 economic power in the world, which is going to happen very soon in the near future, you will be shocked. And that's what politicians do to you. They lie to you and you believe it because they know that they play on your ignorance. Because they know that you're not going to do research. You're not going to get into certain things. So you are easily manipulated. You are easily lied to. Okay, here we go. They've been lying to you for years, telling you that America is the richest country in the world. America is not the richest country in the world. You look at this little country there in Europe called Luxembourg. It's richer than America. How many of you heard of that country? It's a little country in Europe, Luxembourg. It's the richest country in the world, not America. There are many other countries in the world in the like Middle East that are richer than you. You think your passport is the strongest passport in the world? It's not. There are many passports in the world that are stronger than the American passport. Do you know that? But this is the lies that they've been spreading. The only thing that you have and how you're able to dominate is by the US currency and your military. And I talked about BRICS, right? It's challenging the US dollar. And when it happened, when you kicked Russia out of the G7, it was the best thing that happened to Russia. Russia is a founding member of BRICS. Russia partner with China to finally put the nail in America's coffin. So when countries are able to trade with their currency, what's going to happen to the US dollar? What's going to happen to the US dollar? So, you have to, Black Americans, it is time for you to wake up, yeah? It is time for you to understand what is going on. It is time for you to have insight and to see what America has done and to see where America is and to look in the future. I always talk about looking beyond what is in front of you. See this in my hand? It's a soccer ball. But you have to be able to decipher this, to understand the purpose of this, what it's made of, what it's used for, the size and the weight of this. Does it meet regulation. Can this be used in a professional football match? You look at every aspect of this. You can buy one of this and you can make a kid you guys, you have to be able to break things and get into it and decipher things and understand systems. The once dominant America has been humbled by China, and they keep spreading this lie and the propaganda, and a lot of Americans are sucking it up. Not only Americans, but a lot of people all over the world are gobbling it down, drinking the Kool-Aid, thinking that America is so great. You're no longer great. One time, yes, you were the leader. One time, yes, like Silicon Valley and all of that, it played a role, and these are things that need to be commended. But you lost it because of your arrogance. You lost it because you looked down on others. You could not control the Chinese the way that you control the achievements of Black Americans. You thought you could, but the Chinese outsmarted you. And the Chinese have made themselves a powerhouse economically. See what China is doing here in Africa and all over, yeah? What you did when you came to Africa and South America, whatever, yeah? When you wanted the resources of that country, you used the CIA to topple governments. You used the CIA to destabilize government, to reap the resources of the countries to benefit you. So you did. The Chinese are here. But what the Chinese are doing, they're building roads, infrastructure. Although they are taking, and although they are reaping, and although the aim is the same as you, but the Chinese are better at it than you. They don't go in and destabilize government. They don't go in and topple governments. They are getting what they want, and you can physically see Chinese money in Africa. Yes, they are taking. Yes, they are reaping. Yes, they're doing all of that. You lost it. You don't have it anymore. How the mighty has fallen. And this is how empires fell. This is how the Roman Empire fell. This is how the Egyptian Empire fell. The British Empire. The great mighty Great Britain. Hey, Great Britain is no longer great. So I'm making this video because I made a previous video. I don't know when these videos are going to be posted. I have a lot of videos backed up. It may not come in sequence, so I don't know when this video is going to drop, but I anticipate maybe from the previous video I made, I'm going to get some backlash, which is okay. So I decided to make this follow-up video, right? The Chinese are more educated than you. Not only America, any country in the West, the Chinese are more educated than you. You see what the Chinese do to the student from a younger age? And you have kids in Canada and America or whatever. You're dumb, seriously. The education system has failed our students, has failed our children. And you walk around naively thinking that we are the best and we are this, when you're not. And the Chinese are just looking at you. How foolish. When you look at the education system in North America, man, and you compare Singapore. Singapore says we do not have natural resources, but what we have is this: we have our brain. The government of Singapore put the most money into the Ministry of Education, and you have America talking about dismantling public education, and like Canada or whatever, you don't invest. Education is so damn expensive in the West. And the Chinese and Asia make it more affordable and more available to its people. My friends, don't believe the lie when they tell you that China is stealing our intellectual property. It's a lie. The deal was made between China and America. You give us your technology, help us, we will give you access to our labor force, which greedy American corporation wanted, so they can screw you, the consumer, and in turn we'll give you access to the Chinese market. It's the deal. This is why Intel and Sun Microsystems and all of them had to share the technology with China, and that's why China was able to study it and become better at it. China didn't steal anything from you. You had an agreement with China. And now you are running scared and you are crying foul because the Chinese have done it better than you ever thought. You realize your mistake, but it's too damn late. So instead of accepting your mistake, you're trying to demoralize and to talk about well, not demoralize, but well, in a sense, yeah, to say that the Chinese stole because they are not good enough. Get off the sinking ship, Black Americans. You are my brother and you are my sister. We are from the same place and we come from the damn Caribbean. We listen now. Maybe when our ancestors left Africa, we were on the same ship. We can be related, and we are, because there was separation, yeah. So our ancestors might be related from whatever village we came from. When we got on the ship, and we got to the port, Jamaica was a major port destination on the like slave trade. So many slaves came from Africa, like was brought to Jamaica, and right there they were separated. Some went to South America, some stayed in the Caribbean, some went to like North America. We could be related. So you are my brothers and you are my sister, and it's time that you get out from the bubble. Look outside. Don't be confined in the circle. Step out and understand how the world works. Go out and see things. Travel around. Broaden your horizon. See the nonsense that you are being fed. See how they dehumanize you. See how they deny our ancestors they rightly do. See how they are denying you your rightly due even to today. You're not even benefiting from what you built. You built it. The foundation that America stands on was built by you. King Cotton built America. You worked in the cotton field as slaves. Our ancestors worked in the cotton field as slaves to build the foundation of America that America stands on, and they are denying you. Your dues. Instead, there are policies in place to make you feel that you are less, that you do not belong, you are not welcome. They've put policies in place to deny you so that they can keep controlling you. It is time for you to wake up and to see that the ship is sinking. Look elsewhere. Look elsewhere. Don't be on the sinking ship, because you may lose your life. This is the African Jumpy. Thank you for watching this video. If it's your first time here, please give the video a like, leave a comment. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, share the video. Guys, let's build this thing. I'm here. I'm a little guy. I'm a little fish, but I'm trying to find my way. I'm trying to find my way. I'm trying to bring you guys good content. You know, I talk about my Africa experience, my Tanzania experience. For me, it is the best decision I ever made. I'm loving it. I'm glowing. Look at this glow, man. Look at this glow on this face. You know, I'm glowing. I'm happier here. I don't even want to leave. Every time I leave this place, man, I feel so homeless. I can't wait to come back, because for me, this is home. I finally found my place. I finally found my peace. I'm going to get into that. I have another video I did as to why I converted to like Islam. I got into it more in depth. I talked about it before, but in this video, I got into it more in depth, and I'm going to bring it to you. Peace and love. Thank you for straying with me. Bye for now.